So,
You look very sharp, by the way.
thank you very much. We'll keep that on camera. Welcome to the Snapshot, everybody. I'm here with James Young, Jim, and Patty Wildfong. They run our parent education program. In a nutshell, what is the parent education program?
I think the philosophy of the program is that if people can't meet their own basic needs, how can they parent? What we do is we just go in the home and we kind of start where folks are at. If they need housing, if they need utilities, help.
So there's an original assessment of the situation.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah.
We receive a referral.
Yep. Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about the referral?
Sure. We receive a referral from either a protective service worker or a foster care worker through DHS. So we can only accept referrals through DHS. You just can't call and request this program. So we get a little bit of information. We get more information if the child's in foster care. Basically, identifies some areas of concerns, lets us know what it is they would like us to work on, and we go from there.
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is this a grant program? This is one specific grant paying for it?
No, this is actually a state of Michigan contract.
Okay.
So on a monthly basis, we bill and
Okay.
we submit our service transactions to the
Okay,
state.
cool. So it's not tied to any grant. But there are some, I'm sure there are qualification guidelines and everything else that come from the funders.
Correct.
One being they have to be referred from DHS.
So a little bit more intense.
So trying to catch them before things really get out of hand.
Well,
We're more
or-
intensive. We're more intensive than their prevention program.
Okay.
prevention is really intended to keep things from getting out of hand. If we're in the home, there's an open investigation, there's a substantiation of abuse or neglect.
Okay.
And so we come in with very specific directions they want us to work with the family, goals from their caseworker, whether it's substance abuse, domestic violence, things like that. It's our job to kind of assess the situation, and we're not substance abuse counselors, we're not domestic violence experts. We do a little of everything, and then we do our best to refer them to other appropriate service agencies. The idea is you don't want to create a dependence on the service,
Right.
but you want to fill the gaps for folks.
And make them more self-sufficient. That's
Exactly.
kind of our mantra here this year in particular. We're moving towards self-sufficiency program.
Yep.
This is a great example of that. I've often said to my wife and I, we joke, that you got to take a test to drive a car, but anyone can be a parent. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a skill set. You're just born
Gotta have a
with.
license to fish, but
Well,
Right, and it's and if you didn't
Correct.
grow up in a household where it was modeled, how would you know how to be a good
That's-
parent? It's not like it's just you
that
know how
is
to do it.
exactly
So-
what we see every day.
Yep. When I was a kid, this was how it was, right? That's the
Yep, yep.
justification.
Well, and typically our families don't have a very large positive support, system.
Right.
So oftentimes we are that support system for a period of time. And when we look at all of the goals, and we look at the mental health, and we look at the other things, it sounds like with parent education that we're going to go in and say, okay, today we're going to work on time out, but we have to get that parent healthy, we have to get them housed, we have to get a lot of other things in place before we can expect them to be the best parent that they can be.
Well, and I think building trust too, because
Yes, definitely.
the way the program I think is situated in relation to, it all starts with DHS with Child Protective Services and foster care. But for us to be kind of in the middle, it allows us to play, I think, an advocacy role because we can explain their perspective to their worker, and we can kind of make what their worker is trying to accomplish make sense to them
Right.
and seem more salient. So we don't have to be the bad guy, but when it's needed, we get to be the bad guy, I think. So
Definitely.
the structure of that helps as well.
Is there a typical length of time you're working with a client?
Initial referral is 6 months with the expectation that you're going to visit them once a week in their home. So 24 home visits. If families are more intensive or if you feel like your work's not done, it can be extended for another 6 months for a total of a year. I'm confident that our work gives families a better chance of being
Absolutely.
successful.
Absolutely.
And there's a few families that we could probably talk about that we've worked with for almost a year that we know that have benefited from the service greatly.
The other part of it is that I think the reason that we are successful is that we're able to build relationships with these parents and with these families. And I often tell parents that I'm here to help, I'm not here to judge. And if you can convey that right away to families and let them know that either you've been through something they have, or just be empathetic to their situation. It's very easy to judge people before we know them.
Yeah.
And we've met some really great people.
Cool. Well, thanks, you guys.
Sure, thank you.
Jim and Patty, and again, thanks for watching the Snapshot. We'll see you next time.